and you can't hear it but through meditation. And that is called dharana in the voice of the silence. We talked about it last week, and the summation of it would be samadhi, when you have become one with.
Well, I'll tell you, like from the Gita perspective, that doesn't change whether it's theosophy or anything else. Gita
No.
is Gita, right?
Yeah.
So, jnana is basically knowledge and awareness of what this whole thing is. It's not sacrifice. So it's just like wrong definitions of, I don't know why, but I mean, it doesn't translate to that. That's why I'm asking you. I mean, I just want to make sure that we just don't get confused unnecessarily.
Well, this is from the perspective of this. How you do your duty to humanity, and
Yes.
it is
Eventually, it is not sacrifice. Right now, it is sacrifice.
Yeah, to answer your question, meditation is the most important thing to reach where you are wanting to go. That's the answer.
yes.
If I'm understanding you correctly, meditation, the focusing on self, the higher self, focusing on the divine, then hopefully after you do meditate and you change whatever changes the astral, everything changes, and you grow in consciousness, then gradually in your life you'll be able to recognize that higher self in others, and then be able to serve humanity with that higher consciousness. The other question really would be, in what forms does service to humanity take, and how is that maybe individualized with different souls?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Well, the undertaking of service is according to each human being and how they want to apply this to their daily lives, because we do not all interpret the same thing. So charity is the first rule, and how you express that in your life. How are you going to do charity? The example given was that this woman took 6 dozen bananas to the women's hospital every morning to enable them to get potassium into their system, which is a necessary ingredient for life. That is what she chose to do with her limited resources, and applied it that way. It just depends what is needed in society, and suppose you have people in your own family who cannot afford to eat food. Would you not extend a helping help to them first, and then I will come back to you after I answer this. I've seen
I
it.
wanted to qualify that. So
Yeah.
after you're done.
Yeah. So it just depends what you want to do, how you're going to apply that inner light, or that perception that you're one with all and you want to help. It's up to each individual to do how they want to apply that.
I'm not sure this is a question as it is a comment.
Okay.
And it's based on what I hear being said. Maya is the illusion, and we live in Maya when we live in an external existence, in an external world, through our personality. And that world becomes real to us. That's the only real world that we know, except when we go into meditation, which will bring us closer to the real self. And our daily actions, our activities, when we come out of meditation, is to sacrifice the lower self, the personality, in our daily activities, to live through the real self that we connect with through meditation. So if some of the terms are slightly different depending on language, culture, and otherwise, the concepts are really the same. The sacrifice comes when because in order to achieve anything, I think one of the principles of our existence is there must be some giving up of something, some sacrifice. In order to bring about something new, something old must die. It must end. And through a process of connecting with a inner self, we find something that's more real and sustained.
Thank you. But remember, in these beings who come to show the way, that meditation is constant. They live within the higher self at all times. We can reach to that by sitting and concentrating and learning how to get there. But once you get there, Mr. Judge says that connecting to the higher can take place in shorter and shorter periods of time. As you are going through your daily life, you remind yourself who you really are by contact, which is what you're expressing. And in time, then, as this replacement continues, you become more attuned to that inner life, is what it is saying. And that is what is being given up, and that is called sacrifice. Because you're sacrificing the lower self to the higher aspect, which is expressed in this talk towards service to humanity. Yes, Tom?
I'm just going to throw a precautionary maybe concern in as far as charity and sacrifice is concerned. An example would be in the situation in Haiti now, and that, you know, a lot of people do give to the Red Cross and they give to help the people there in Haiti. However, their efforts are being not used properly in Haiti to actually help the people. So I wonder where that stands in the scheme of things, and as far as our personal sacrifice do because of our giving from the heart. Are we still, you know, striving towards being a better being, even though the end result of what we've given is not being used properly?
But what did it say here? It says that you must not be attached to the end result. So once that your heart expression has expressed itself in whatever charity you wish to do, you're not concerned on its outcome. You leave it to nature, because karma will always bring it back to harmony. Whatever injustice or disharmony is being caused, it becomes readjusted. So we're not concerned about it. Yeah.
I want to qualify both these comments. She had asked, so what kind of charity to do?
Mm-hmm.
The qualification there is that it needs to be selfless service.
Yeah, that's just what we just said.
So charity, not just thinking, well, maybe I give this check and they're going to put it on their website, and so my name will be there, and so my friends are going to know about it.
No, that would be attached to the end result, and we are just saying that is no.
And the other thing is that when we say charity, a lot of people think, let's give money to Red Cross. And that's what charity is. It's about service. It's about your time. It's about your effort. So
money is necessary too sometimes.
Right. Huh?
Yeah, money is also necessary.
So when we say selfless service, then it's actually your service.
Yeah.
It's your service. So you give money is fine, but it's not going to qualify as, hey, you know what, I did this and I did not do any service, so that's not charity on your part when you go out. That's all.
Well, it is, all these work together and each individual must decide how they're going to do it. But in the key, there is a section where it is said, best charity is one-on-one. I think this is what you're saying. This is the best one. Because there's always people around us who are without resources in one way or another, and we start with those that we know personally and we can help, and then we extend into the community. It was very interesting. This senator said that every Saturday he and his kids and a whole family get together and they make sandwiches, and they physically drive to DC to distribute the food among the homeless, which is what you're saying. Do it one-on-one where you know where your service is going. But in some cases, if it's not possible and the only thing you can do is to give, they say to look and see what the purpose of the charity is. What exactly is it going to achieve in the world? There was some request some years ago about Afghanistan women, that these women were in the cold and they had nothing to cover themselves with. They didn't have homes. That, to me, that is a worthy charity. And once you donate to buy, say, 3 blankets, whether the blankets got there or not, you don't have any control on it. This is what I'm trying to explain to you, Tom. That once you give it and it came from your heart and you want to help that cause, the other thing is buy the blankets and go take it there yourself. That would be the highest service, because you can get the whole community to donate and get as many blankets as you can, and you actually fly and make sure that the organization that is requesting it got it to distribute to it. Yeah, people. But if you can't do that and you have obligations to your family and you have a job and you can't do it, then you do the best you can. Okay, if there are no questions, thank you everyone.